Hi everyone, and I'm hoping that we've got a good connection here. Just bring the camera. Sorry, moving the camera again. That's the thing when it's live. You're kind of halfway doing a job, and then you've got to. Okay. Hi everyone. I hope you find this live show okay. Well, this is a little bit of a. We're going to try and do some predictions, okay, for this. We're going to try and do some psychic predictions for this session, this live session. So yeah, so I just got. Well, I'll wait for a few of you to come on, but I do get the first thing I get here throughout the world, basically throughout the whole of the world, is this this energy of lackluster have got no kind of like going back into the early 80s, that kind of era. It was like all kind of let's just try to prevent these wars. These wars are wreck so many people's lives and just create all these refugees. And I think even going into even 10 years ago, with all these refugees, and I mean, look at look at Iraq and the devastation there, and all those refugees. So, well, at the moment, I don't know what's happening with the world. And I know this is not like a specific prediction, but I'm going to try to get to some specific predictions. It just feels as if the whole world is can't be bothered with moral boundaries, morality. It seems like morality is disappearing in this world. In what way? I just feel that the morality of humankind, of human kindness, of human life, where has the morality gone? Hi everyone, and lovely to see you guys. So yeah, this is thought I'd come on, do a live show, but this is like predictions. I'm going to see if I can predict some predictions here. A little bit different because of what I've been doing, but no, I'm not going to change things. I just feel that this would be a great idea. There's this crisis that's I think many of you know about this, the crisis in the Gulf that's escalating. I'm not a big one of following politics and war and things like that, so I'll do my best here to predict. But somebody requested this on a comment saying, is there going to be a war in the Middle East? Well, I think somebody predicted this many years ago, that the World War III would be. This is not me. This is somebody in the early 80s who predicted. It may have been Almanac, I'm not sure. But I get if I remember rightly, that the next World War III will be about oil, and it will be in the Middle East. World War III will be about oil, and I do remember that many years ago that's been predicted now. So I guess people are wondering, is this going to actually happen? Is this going to actually happen? This prediction that was made many years ago. I mean, and that prediction was, Debbie said that that was predicted that this would be the end of the world. Now, I get this lackluster, as I said, but I also get this, I think the end of morality, the end of the value of human life. I mean, when we actually reach that point where we don't value human life, and I think that's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. We should respect human life like any, above all other life. And you know, you may say, well, not really, but I feel that's how it should be. And there is no, it seems like there's no lackluster about human life. You just have to, and I'm not being paranoid, but I can sit here and I get all these, and it's the Daily Mail, Daily Express. I get them to, if there's any kind of news, urgent news that comes up on my computer, and there's been some horrific things that have actually come up, and what kind of spoke to me about all of these news bulletins is that there's no respect for human life anymore. Or well, I respect human life. I mean, I'd rather save somebody's life than actually watch them suffer. But there's so many, and it's getting quite. It seems like it's the norm. Every time you switch on the computer or switch on the TV, that it used to hit the national news that somebody got stabbed and murdered, but now it's like it's on the local news. It's on every local news. There was one incident, and I don't want to be depressing, but there is a lack of respect for human life in this world. And there was one which I didn't even read it. I thought, I just don't want to read that. It was one where somebody had put their baby into a tumble dryer. And I think, oh my God, you know, what is coming to this world? And lots of people have been thrown off balconies. So, and lots, you know, many things on a daily basis here in the UK. Yeah, I don't want to mention that because that was just horrific. But this is happening, guys, in the UK on a daily basis. News like that, which normally would hit the national news, but now it's just an everyday occurrence. And it kind of, you know, it makes me wonder. It does make me wonder, you know, it makes me wonder if this is the end of the world, because there just seems to be a lack of respect for humanity. There's not enough of us that support humanity. So yeah, a little bit of a deep discussion. So it is a topic that's quite so I thought I'd use my medieval deck for this, because it seems like we're just going back to the medieval times, you know. And I get apocalyptic kind of times, and times like the medieval era where there were torture, and you know, we've gone past that, but it's kind of almost getting to where it's medieval. Yeah, I mean, I try every day to raise awareness of humanity and spirituality, and you know, evolving to a better person, and examples of, you know, like the daily read that I did today, which was the example of you meet this person, or this person is deliberately wanting to cause you harm, and they know they're doing this, and they know they're doing this. How to deal with that? How to rise above that? And show these people that you're not winning, you're going to lose. So I tend to try to bring in this the divine, and but it's not just spiritual tarot by Yvonne's task alone. I think I try to talk about narcissism and how they are, different people underneath. And I know I did one that was quite humorous recently, but yeah, that's a serious topic. They do tend to have this altered ego, which you don't know who they damn well are. 1 minute they're this charming, your dream guy. The next minute they're somebody else. Okay. Hi everyone, and lovely to see you. So this one, it's very much a request, really. Somebody said, I don't know whether she'll be here, but somebody said, is there going to be a war in the Middle East? Can you do a prediction on that? So I think, well, why not try and do a prediction on this? But first of all, before I start, because I want to wait until people come on and a chance of getting here live and not missing out. So I'll just give it a little bit of time before I get on to the predictions. So I'm going to start here. I really want to know what's going on in this world. Let's just delve in deep here. It's like humanity has given up. It's like that's what's coming through. It's like humanity is giving up. It's the lack of respect for humanity and human life that this like, yeah, I guess going back to the pioneering times when we had surgeons, the first barber surgeons, and first pioneering people who developed penicillin and all those life-saving things, and performed their first kind of heart and lung surgery. We're still pioneering things, researching many things on cancer and trying to. So there is a lot of good in this world. But I think I feel that people take it for granted what the way things used to be. I'm going back now to like Helena Pankhurst, when she really fought for women's votes, and the way that women were trapped like slaves in households and couldn't say anything, used to get beaten up every night. So there was this big movement to get women's rights, and now it's like if you say that you want women's rights, you kind of are looked like told that you're some kind of the same thing, really, that you're told that you're not really a woman. You just want to damn everything that's that a man does. You're trying to change men into, I don't know, I feel like humanity has lost its way. And so I'm going to just do a reading while we're waiting. Oh, do you know, I was thinking, you go out every day, and I think, well, I don't want to say that I'm the only normal person walking around, but sometimes I can't wait to get back into get back into my own home or closed doors, because you walk out there and it's full of nutcases, I don't know what it's like where you live. I mean, whereabouts do you live, guys? And is it like that for you, or do you go outside down your road, down your neighbourhood, and it's like you chat to everyone, and everybody's talks to each other like a community, like the old-fashioned community years ago. We used to have it in England. We used to have old-fashioned communities, and before we had mobile phones and computers, we actually used to go out and talk to each other on the street. Okay. Hi, they're from Liverpool. Well, yeah, that's Angela. That was such a working class back years ago. Many people went to America from Liverpool, didn't they? Hi, Dawn from Pennsylvania. Hi there. Actually, I was just watching a program. It was about Billy Connolly going across America. And I thought I'll watch that because I'd like to go. I'd like to see where some of you people live. And it mentioned Pennsylvania. And I think, oh gosh, look at those big high-rise buildings and all those kind of things, because we have little houses in England. We don't have the big kind of high rise like you do in America. Okay, Vegas is pretty friendly depending on the neighborhood. Yeah. Well, that's nice. That's nice. I'm not saying it's all like that, but sometimes, um, I know. Maybe it's me. I'm losing my tolerance a little bit with people that are a bit stupid and say stupid things. Maybe I'm just trying to evolve. Maybe I'm trying to evolve too much. Biker babe. Wisconsin, small town. We still know it. Everyone's business. So you've still got your communities there in America, and this is a great community too. I'm trying to bring back that old-fashioned community. Yeah, you live in a high-rise. Yeah. So whereabouts do you live, Dawn? Pennsylvania. Yeah, I saw. I was watching that program where Billy Connolly was traveling around America, and it was like a little documentary thing, and it showed Pennsylvania, and I saw those great big tall kind of skyscrapers, and I was going, wow, look at that. If I ever get to go to America, it'd be a little bit different for me. Are you from Miami, Florida? Hi there, Diane. You live in a nice condo where we look out to each other. It is safe to go for walks and the neighbourhood. There are many dog walkers. Doesn't that sound lovely? Very peaceful area from my perspective. That's lovely. That's really nice. And you're from Kingston, PA, Pennsylvania. Is that right? So anyway, yeah, so interesting. So you have, okay, Angela, city centre is far, but touristy now. Cool, retro, but we do have it bad here. Is that in Liverpool? Yeah. I know. Okay, Angela. I know there are bad parts of Liverpool, but lots of nice. Yeah, and open strawberry. Oh yeah, they've opened strawberry fields now. Yeah, I watched that. It was on the news. That's been closed for many years, hasn't it, Angela? Most Americans are in complete denial. What do you mean? They're like Stepford wives or something? Um, I think with England, it's with England. There's some beautiful places in England, beautiful area. I mean, in a beautiful area at the moment, absolutely idyllic. But you can be in a beautiful area, and not far away is a big city because it's such a small island. So it's not like America where there's vastness of spaces, and then you get your, your city, and then vast spaces. In England, it's very much, you've got your beautiful areas, but say 20 miles away or 10 miles away, you've got a big city, inner city, and there's lots of crime and things like that, which spill out into the good areas. And I love England, and the only thing that spoils it for me is that kind of it's trying to kind of get away from that, and you can, but it's still not too far from the madding crowds, if you like, and the crime and the inner city poverty and things like that. So you get these people coming from the cities out to these beautiful areas for the afternoon or the day, and well, it's nice that they visit, but there's sometimes it's too close. Do you know what I'm saying? It's too close for comfort with the UK. And there's so much, and I'm trying not to be negative, but there has been a lot of stabbings in the UK, and lots of things that have not been very nice on the news. That anything bad, I switch off, and am I living in denial? Maybe I am, and trying to have this idyllic kind of lifestyle, but isn't that what you've got to do, is trying to create your own kind of bubble away from this kind of thing? I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, guys. Yeah, so I think you've got lots of land in America. I mean, yeah, we do have to cope in our own way. The way that I cope is I like to go to rural areas and in the countryside, and get some space, which helps with your mind function. Apparently, I did some research on that if you go and just get some space away from people, and not because you don't want to be around people, it's just that meditation thing. It helps with your mind and your health of your mental health. Yeah, there's still lots of land in America. Yeah, it's the same as Ireland. When I go over to Ireland, you've got your towns, but in between there's vast spaces of rugged kind of countryside. But in England, they're all very close together. There's a town there. In between, there's villages. So there's not an awful lot of huge kind of vast spaces at all, like there is in France and that kind of thing. I don't watch TV that much. In fact, I kind of watch Netflix now and again, and I watch some series that I quite like. But let's have a look at your comments. Angela, yes, agree. There's too much bad on the news, and there's all they talk about. I don't like. Yeah, it is. It's like one after the other. I'm sick of it, especially when it involves children. Yeah, there's too much of it involving children at the moment on the news. I don't like it. What's that? I don't know anything about England. What I have heard makes me feel you're losing your country. Yes, yes. And if you mention that you're a racist, okay, you're a racist. If you even mention that, because it's all about, being a cosmopolitan country. We're not big enough to be a cosmopolitan country, and I like I like cosmopolitan cities and things like that, but not a cosmopolitan country. Um, yeah, yeah. So anyway, I just feel that with England, I feel for me, what would suit me is like a town and then vast open spaces around it, and I like a really nice neighborhood where, you can have a laugh, you talk to each other, you can have a chat, and you invite each other to, to gatherings and things like that. I would love that. I don't know whether that's something like you just see on TV in America. Outdoor living, lovely kind of weather. I think that would certainly. I like that community, talking to people at the local shops and getting to know their families and all that kind of thing. I don't know whether we've lost that in England. I'm not sure if we've lost that in England. I think especially down south, people tend to close their doors and they don't know their neighbours. They possibly know next door neighbour just in case anything happens, but that's just about it, really. They don't. It's not like somebody across the street or anything like you see in Australia, where they all kind of live on a close and they all kind of know each other. It's not like that. It's like in England, it's that they've got this stiff upper lip, and I don't even feel that. I shouldn't say this, but I don't even feel that I even like England. I don't feel I even like England because I'm very social and I like to, why would I be on here and talking to you guys and wanting like this lovely community if I wasn't social? And the one aspect that I loved when I was out in Greece was that that kind of people looked after each other because they lived in the same village. And I used to have this old lady in this. I'm kind of debating, should I go back, because I don't like this lifestyle of not knowing your neighbours, not being able to chat to people, comfortably. I don't know if you get what I'm saying here, but there is this there is in England. They shut the door. They're not warm. They're not as friendly, and in that I feel that's getting worse. I feel that's getting worse. When I was over in Greece, I was in this village house, and this old lady, Greek lady, used to bring me. She used to bring me vegetables, tomatoes, fresh out of her garden. She used to bring me flowers. She grew herbs, and she would bring me a bunch of herbs on a daily basis. On a daily. But I get on the steps, because there'll be steps going up to this house that you live on above, and bedrooms are on the ground floor. And I'd go up the steps. You can imagine it, can't you? An old Greek house, and she'd be, and I'd put like I've got pots going up like flowers, and on the steps she would leave me vegetables on the steps, and you just get used to that, and you think, oh gosh, she's brought me that. How am I going to eat all that, kind of thing? And I used to give her, I'd buy her things too, and didn't even expect anything back for that. Didn't even expect anything back. It was just hospitality. It's just that they were a neighbour. So I do miss that. I do miss that. I really do miss that. And I feel a huge kind of chunk of me, and I feel people who know me that live there know that I love that place. They do. And I'm not going to be staying away too long. But what's that? Diana, I miss the country where I lived almost 30 years. Must live in a city now since ex-divorce. Yeah, you see, divorce is another thing, isn't it? You move to be with someone when you had this different life before, and you kind of think to yourself, why did I do that? Just for it all to kind of crumble down. Yeah, there is people that are worse off. There are. Yeah, we should keep our. You see, I'd be happy with a simple life. Okay, so what's that about my toothbrush? Can somebody get rid of that person? I've got good teeth, I feel. I do need to yeah, look, my teeth are okay. What's wrong with my teeth? Yeah. I thought I'd got good teeth, but yeah, let's get rid of the troll. So that is just so rude, isn't it? So rude. I've not got cap teeth or anything like that. I've just got normal teeth, and I can't afford thousands of pounds to have my teeth done. I've just got normal teeth. Yeah. Okay. Tyrone, you sound like one of my exes, or you are some teenage boy. I'm far too old for you. Okay. So let's have a look here. Yeah. These celebrities have I've just got normal teeth, and I haven't got cap teeth or anything like that. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So I'm sorry if my teeth are not as white as like crazy. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're not one of my exes, but I don't know who you are. But you're gone, okay? You're so rude. And this is another thing, guys, why I prefer my Patreon. So let's have a look at the topic here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, thank you. It's either somebody who knows me who's a bit of a git, or you know, those people. Yeah, we have this situation here on this. I don't like to get political, but it's like Donald Trump here. There's this crisis in Saudi. This Saudi oil place has been attacked. I think millions and millions of pounds worth of oil is being destroyed. Okay, so I'll just read this. It says, and it's the newspaper is okay. It's Algeria something. The newspaper. I'll just. I feel that Donald Trump has said the US is locked and loaded after Saudi oil attack. Iran's Revolutionary Guard warns it is ready to respond, saying its missiles could hit US bases and ships within. So they're kind of saying they've got nuclear they've got weapons here that can travel up to 2,000 kilometers that could hit US bases and ships. Okay. And Donald Trump is saying, you know, we're locked and loaded. Okay, fears of an outbreak of fighting between Iranian and American forces in the Gulf were revived after Washington accused Tehran of carrying out devastating attacks on the world's biggest oil-producing facility in Saudi Arabia. US President Donald Trump said the White House believes it knows the culprit of the strikes, and the US military is locked and loaded, ready for action. The US is waiting to hear from Saudi Arabia as to who they believe was the cause of the attack, and under what terms we would proceed. Okay, so they should know who that was. I'm sorry, they should know, with their spies and people like that. Donald Trump's warning followed a National Security Council meeting at the White House that included Vice President Mike Pence, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and Defense Secretary Mark Esper. On Monday, Iran dismissed the US allegations as unacceptable and baseless, according to state television. Okay, so who was that then? Okay, so was it Iran that actually? Was it Iran that actually caused, you know, these explosions, this attack here on this oil here in the Gulf? Because I feel that Donald Trump does feel it's something to do with. Yeah, he feels it's something to do with Iran. Donald Trump here on Twitter. Saudi Arabia oil supply was attacked. There is reason to believe that we know the culprit. are locked and loaded depending on verifications, but are waiting to hear from the kingdom as to who they believe was the cause of this attack and under what terms we would proceed. So they're accusing Tehran. Tehran denied allegations it was behind the attack, so they have been accused of the attacks then, which were claimed by Yemen's Iran alleged rebel group. And no evidence the attacks came from Yemen. I feel I don't know what I'm getting here. It's Iran. It's around this because they seem to be very angry, Iran, at the moment. So with whatever this conflict is, Iran can't take any more of this. Okay. Yeah, they can't. That Iran feels that they have been deceived, that much of this oil has been hidden from them or taken away from them, and they feel that the Americans are trying to take the power here from the Iranians for whatever reason. The Americans, so the Iranians have been getting more and more frustrated and launched this attack because there was this deception of taking away this oil from the Iranians. I don't know anything about the politics. I have not followed this story, but that's what I'm picking up here. That they were forced to attack because this oil was diverted away from Iran. Now, so if that's not anything, if that's something that would provoke this attack, then whose fault is this? Is it the I don't know the ins and outs of the politics, but if somebody is diverting the oil ships or the oil away from somewhere in that Gulf area, then that's the reason why there was that attack on that a storage place or whatever it was called. I feel it was Iran, but he's got his reasons. His reasons are they're just diverting this oil away. And, the Americans are taking the full power of this, taking the oil away from us. That's what I'm getting here, preventing us from receiving that oil. I get that too, and taking it towards the American oil base there. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I pick up here. I feel this has been going on for a long time, and the Iranians just kept watching their oil being taken away. And I feel that the Iranians were sick of people watching them, breathing down their necks over things. And the Iranians were feeling as if they're losing control of this situation. So this is why there was this attack. And now we get here, Pompeo said, Iran has now launched an unprecedented attack on the world's energy supply. Senior US officials cited intelligence assessments, including satellite imagery, on Sunday to support their case that Iran was responsible. Well, I picked that up here, that they were responsible for reasons being that oil were being taken away from them, diverted away from them. I don't know about how that's done, but that's how this is their way at getting back on that. And it was going to this American oil base here. And which they have damaged with these attacks, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Okay. So although they were diverting oil away from Iran, I feel that the Americans have literally obliterated Iraq. So there's this kind of threat. You'll end up like what I'm picking up here. You'll end up like Iraq if you don't stop this. Like a threat. Like a threat. If you attack us, we will obliterate your country. So would there be a war? With the frustrations of Iraq, of watching their oil being diverted to the Americans. This is what I'm getting intuitively. Sorry, my nose is itching. And they retaliated by firing towards this American oil base thing. I feel that Donald Trump is in the middle of this, thinking the reason why they did attack is because we were diverting the oil away from them, or from someone diverting oil away from someone. Okay. It could be something to do with bin Laden and these kind of supporters. Taliban supporting. It could be something to do with that. But I feel that Iran were getting blamed for something that really wasn't there. There was links to Iran of these Taliban forces. They were diverting this oil away from them. And Iran got angry, saying this is nothing to do with us, and then retaliated in this manner. Yeah, you can understand the upset there. I don't feel there's any chance of any peace talks now, because they've gone and they've really invaded this oil place. I really don't feel there's any kind of let's sit down, let's talk peacefully about this, because they've already attacked this oil field. I don't feel that this will be all-out war just yet. Okay. There were many mistakes with Iraq, and many refugees and many deaths, that they're thinking, if we go in the way we went in with, I don't know anything about this strategic warfare or anything, but if America go into Iran like they went into Iraq, bombing their important buildings, that's what they did. That's what they would do first. But the thing is that I feel that Americans, they are taking the oil away from this Iran, and They were angry that this was happening, and they wanted to, they wanted their equal share to this, and this was being taken away from them. So there is this, there's this unfairness, but there's also a superpower involved here. But there's also the threat of lots of deaths again, and refugees having nowhere to live. And haven't we got that problem already? I can't see. There's so many rich people I'm picking up here in Iran. I cannot see them being crushed and obliterated. There's billionaires there. There's oil people there. I can't see that. In fact, I find it quite difficult that Trump is trying to divert their oil away from them, because, we're talking about a civilized country is Iraq. It's a business center too. There's lots of oil people there. Billionaires live there. That it's not as if it's uncivilized. It's a civilized place. The only thing that they don't like is it diverting this oil away from them. So it's not a place that they could obliterate as such. So I don't feel there'll be a World War III because of, I feel it's because they don't want to cause a lot of deaths and things like that kind of thing. I don't feel there's mass destruction or anything like that. I feel, what will Donald Trump do? Because if Iran's a rich, wealthy country. It sounds like Iraq, but it's not. Okay, they used to be civilized. Okay. Well, I don't get that they are. They're nothing like, they're a very rich country, Iran. Yeah, I know you're thinking that Iran is something similar to Iraq. It's not. It's not. There's lots of oil people there. Very wealthy people. So what will Donald Trump do about this attack? There needs to be talks. They will talk together to find out, to try to do this in a civilized way. But this Iranian leader now does not trust Donald Trump because of what he's done for the over months and months. Okay. He doesn't trust Donald Trump. There's no trust there. There's no trust there. I don't know what the royal family have got to do with this. Somebody said something in the royal family about this this Gulf crisis. Or somebody from the royal family has spoken to somebody in the Gulf. So what will Donald Trump do here? Okay, the leader of this Iranian government, or whatever this is, this oil diversion away from Iran is destabilizing the country, and it's not It's not helping the stability of their country. And this is what this is about. He feels that Donald Trump is trying to destabilize Iran and then attack Iran in a kind of but destabilizing them first with this oil situation. So it has been, you could have called it a Cold War for a long time now, and the expression of aggression with the bombs is because of this, to try to destabilize Iran financially, depleting them of this oil. That's what the crisis is here. And that's why they lashed out, because they feel, Iran feels that this Cold War has destabilized them. And I feel the aim is to destabilize them. Well, I think it's a bit of a silly move. Well, I'm not political. I don't want to, but if this is what they have they've planned to do is destabilize Iran, when they've also got allies such as Russia and China, it's not a very clever move for somebody to do, whether that's Donald Trump or whoever has done this. I get that it was to prevent this oil reaching this Taliban. Something to do with that. Something to do with preventing this these oil tankers from going towards Iran and further afield, maybe these to fund the Taliban or something. I don't know. I'm not political, but I do pick this up, that this is why they've been diverting them away from them, because of something to do with having connections with the Taliban or whatever they are, terrorists, kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, so I feel there's a lot. I don't understand the ins and out of this, and I'm not political. So okay, what was that, Diane? You probably know better than me. The Gulf wants to ship their oil out, and they have to pass Iran. Iran is trying to stop this. Okay, so yeah, but why are they trying to stop it? Is it something that they're not getting their kind of oil kind of delivered or something? It sounds a bit naive, but are they not getting their share delivered? Because they're accused of helping people like the Taliban. Is the only outlet, that is the question. Okay, so what I get here is Donald Trump cannot retaliate at this point in a military sense. I don't feel he can. There is a crisis. There are crisis meetings. I see there's going to be talks with Vladimir Putin and these heads of state to try to resolve this. Big world leaders to try to resolve this. There's going to be that next. And also, there are world leaders that can't wait to start a war, who can't wait to see how their nuclear missiles look in the sky. We've got some crazy leaders out there, and they can't. No, I'm not saying Donald Trump or anybody like that, but I'm talking about some leaders would, can't wait to press that button to see their nuclear blow up some kind of small country, which is scary. And that's the people they have got to calm down, is these warmongers, by meetings, by meeting them. Is it North Korea, South Korea, people like that, be quite happy to press that button and watch their cruise missiles in the skies. Now, who are their allies? So all of these people, I feel that they would have to have meetings with, and talks, and gain allies. Because I think that will be the next step, because they don't want, and it's going to be quite a tough thing to do, because I do feel that Trump would love to retaliate. I think he would love to retaliate. How that dare they do that on our oil fields? That's the worst thing ever. But he's got to hold himself back, and he's got to go back to the talks and the crisis here, and talk to the big leaders. I think what we will see, what I'm predicting here is the next thing we will see is President Trump going to do crisis meetings with Vladimir Putin and other world leaders to try to persuade Iran, because he's probably talked to Iran leaders, because he probably, I don't know, has more of an ally with them, but also with America, so like a go-between. And I think that may calm it down for a while, until they come up with a solution. This is going to trundle on, I feel, for a number of years. I don't feel it's something I can just predict to happen, but I don't feel that, because the next person to let off any missiles would have to be Donald Trump, and I don't feel he's going to do that. I feel he'd rather go and talk to other world leaders, get somebody to talk to the Iranian leaders to try to calm this down and work something out. Yeah, I feel that's what's going to happen next. We'll hear about Donald Trump meeting up with other world leaders, trying to prevent any kind of atrocities and whole countries being obliterated through what happened to Iraq, basically. I feel that Iran has some kind of civilization around it, and they want to try to. I don't see any kind of war there imminently at all. Okay, that's my prediction. It's going into another Cold War, I feel, and negotiations and talks. I get Iranian leaders may get on with Vladimir Putin, as you said, leader of China, and try to work that through, okay, together. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. So my prediction is no, there will not be another big war. I feel there was big mistakes made with Iraq, and we don't want that situation where there's lots of refugees, and that's just evil. I can't see Donald Trump doing that. Doing that, obliterating like that, and all those civilians, leaving them homeless and still stuck in tents in parts of Europe. So thank you, everyone. Okay, and thank you so much. It's been quite interesting. So I don't feel there's going to be another big war. It goes straight into a Cold War again, talks and meetings and that kind of thing. Yeah, so thank you so much. Um, yeah, but the thing is that okay, Israel might want to go to war, but America's not going to go for that. You know. Yeah, I get Trump will talk, although there's been lots of millions of dollars lost there. It's better to lose millions of dollars than millions of people, isn't it? Really? Yeah, that's right, Stephanie, and that's what I pick up. There's going to be no war, okay? I think as well we could help, rise above this and heal this through humanitarian kind of efforts of trying to heal. We don't want to see things like this in the future. We don't want to see suffering. We just because of oil and things like that, when we're not going to be able to use fossil fuels in the future, this is going to all stop. Um, yeah, and a different subject, and I will actually do more predictions because I feel I'm really interested in predictions, and I love it when people make predictions. And because I've had so many predictions come to fruition, so I thought I might, start doing some predictions for other things. So my prediction here for this crisis in the Gulf uh, is superpower talk his way through both all these leaders to talk their way through it. Yes, there's been damage to this oil refinery or base in Iran or wherever it is. But the main thing is here is to prevent a war. And I feel they're going to look at the frustrations of why they did that, why they feel, and try to get some kind of peace negotiation here, rather than going with for the big guns. I feel that's what the way they're going to do this. I think that's a sensible thing to do. Try to keep peace. I also get the royal family, maybe the Queen, stepping in here. Sometimes she does. Is there any way we can keep the peace in the Gulf by talks and negotiations? So I don't know who that is. I get the Queen or somebody. Yeah, it's got to be the Queen, really, hasn't it? I feel somebody in the royal family has said something like this. Let's try to resolve this crisis. We've had it before. I get the Queen saying something like, "We've had this before in the past, and we don't want full-out war where there's death and destruction and innocent people getting killed. We don't want that. We don't want that Iraq thing again." So so peace talks, which is good, and that's the way we should go forward. Okay. and not responding like Trump did, like we're locked and loaded, is not the right response to give. Although he doesn't want to be looked upon as a weak leader too. So thank you, everyone. That's my prediction on this. No war, peace talks. And this is going to go on for a long time too. But this is going to also go down in history as preventing conflict and moving towards peace. I think that's what we all want across the world. So thank you, guys, and I'll find some more things that we can talk about where I can give my predictions. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's keep our ear out for Donald Trump going to talk to Vladimir Putin, the Chinese presidents, and all of that kind of thing, and meetings. Okay. Thank you, and bye for now, everyone. I love all of you. Okay, bye bye. Yes, love and peace to everyone.